Dream Team ain't lost no game and wasn't gonna lose none.
Not one.
But these young boys done lost game, bouncing all around, LeBron, them, all them got their ass put out the fucking Olympics. I don't even compare the Olympics to them. Because Dream Team ain't lose a game less than 30, 40 points. Chief Hall Podcast right at you, full force, and season 2 with Ray Rob and Frankie B in the house. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and make sure we know how you feel about what we saying. Great peeping in your drapes. Rob making the plate in the back. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. Chief Hall Podcast. We were just in here debating, it was just getting hot. And I just say, hey, let's get to it. And we wanted to go ahead and talk about the past and present NBA.
The Dream Team during those years, they didn't have as many NBA players.
Stay away from the Olympics.
In the Olympics, man.
I can agree with that a little bit, but they still
You understand what I'm saying?
squad,
They didn't have the quality of players back then. Of course, Magic and all them, they was gonna wash all those players, man.
You say the game so much better. How come these guys can't dominate like they dominate? They barely win.
First of all,
Steph and them barely winning the Olympics.
Look, man.
Listening.
Everybody has gotten better, man.
Go start it up. Start the show.
All these players. Look, first of all, hold on.
The show. I don't want to hear
I've already started the show.
So don't waste.
Let me
We
see
recording right
Cam.
now.
Make sure I'm all
You
right.
saying nothing slick to a can of oil, bro.
And we want to make these comparisons. We want to break down how did the NBA progress. Rob made a comment that the NBA has progressed. And I want to know how did it progress? Because I can tell you a lot of ways that they went backwards. I can tell you a lot of ways that they went backwards.
Man.
We're going to let Rob tell how they progressed. Then we're going to just talk about those Dream Team comparisons. We want to go a little bit deeper with those Dream Team comparisons.
So listen, here's what I got to say. Of course, we know the game have progressed, man.
I want to hear how. Please.
I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you right now
Please don't take forever.
how.
Please.
I'm trying not to. First of all, if you think about it, man, they don't move. The game has not went backwards. How you say it, right? We could look at all of these kids how they playing now. Back in our day, the game was positional. Now today's game is not positional, right? You got a center that's bringing the ball up. He's a guard. Back in our day, Patrick Ewing and all these other guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robert Parrish, all those guys, they wouldn't dare touch the ball and bring it up. That was the point guard job. You understand what I'm saying? And these guys now, number one, they're shooting more threes.
This is talking about how the NBA has progressed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm talking about how
they progressed in the sense that 7-footers can dribble now. That what you saying?
Yes, they can dribble.
Okay, they point guards too. Okay, that's dumb. But go ahead.
Okay, call it what you want to call it. That's not backwards.
That's going backwards.
Come on, man. That is not going backwards, bro.
In my opinion. Let me let you finish.
Listen. Okay, look. The point is, let me just get to it, man. Let me just stop. Let me stop beating the dead horse. Number one, like I told you before, these kids these days, with this Olympic team, they would have beat the 92 team.
Progression.
Period.
I want to go to that now. Give me 5 ways that the NBA has progressed from the early years of we'll get to the Dream Team debate.
All right, look. Okay, let me give it to you. All right. Number one, athleticism. Right? They shooting more 3-pointers. The game is faster now, much faster.
What about the skill level?
Okay, skill set. The skill set that's wrapped into those other 3. The skill set. Okay. All right, we got the skill set.
No, don't get you.
The skill set is better. Yeah, the skill set is better.
Oh, damn! So that's 4.
That's 4 so far.
You say they're better skill.
The skill set, yeah.
I know you
of
delusional,
course,
but that's all right. Go ahead. That's 4. All right, give me one more.
Listen, okay.
Delusional. I'm gonna chop all this up. Please, Henry.
I don't have another one. So go ahead. Look, number one, I made my point. We can see. You listen. You can make that point. You can say whatever you want to say right now, right? But we can see the game. If you compare those guys how they played back then and how they playing now, they were not as athletic as these guys. And these guys will run those old guys' ass off the court. I'm talking about prime for prime.
Say this
That's
right
it.
here. You said athletic, but say this right here. You said athletic, but answer this question.
That's what I said.
Were they tougher back then than they are now?
Of course not. No. When you say toughness, I would say no.
I'm gonna say tougher is a little bit different than durable because they damn sure not as durable. Very few of these guys play 84 games.
Okay, so that's true. But now they got that, what they call that shit now, load management.
Yeah, because they couldn't, because they weak mentally. So let me just show you how.
Now watch it.
Let's chop up all yo. They weak mentally.
Okay, all right.
And that's out of their control.
That's opinion.
That's out of their control because that's generational. All right.
Okay,
most of the guys back in the old days, they had to go to college they had to do college at least 2 years. And Jordan went 3, Magic then went 4, Bird. All those guys had to go to college. Darryl Dawkins was, I believe, Moses Malone was the first to come out of high school. That wasn't as popular, or that wasn't a common thing. But let's go with an IQ. These young guys could not match the IQ of the guys of old as far as shooting, plays, schemes, and two-way players. Two-way player was more common back then.
What's a two-way player?
Well, you play both sides of the ball. The fundamentals of the game has changed.
Okay.
Defensive rebounding, pick and roll, just basically how you really run an offense and how you shoot. Lamar Ball, one of the Ball sons, came into the league with a shot that was very awkward. And I mention that because the fundamentals of form and shooting, rebounding, positioning, a lot of that stuff is gone. A lot of that stuff is gone from the game because you got centers wanting to bring the ball down. So nobody not boxing out, nobody not really concentrating on rebounding. Look at rebounding. So I think we lost a lot when you got big guys bringing the ball down. Some of y'all feel like,
hey, making me go to sleep over here. Frank, you ain't answered the damn question, bro.
You supposed to tear him apart, Frank.
I still play.
Tear him apart.
He ain't tearing me apart.
I
Go ahead.
Just durability. Just that none of these guys can play a full season. That's a problem.
I believe that.
Listen, man, they're going to drag.
LeBron has never played a full season. Michael Jordan played 8, 6. John Paxson played 7. Karl Malone. These guys played the whole 80-something games and still scored all those points, got all those rebounds, lived their life, and did their thing. These young guys getting in all this trouble off the court with foolishness and all kinds of stuff.
That's a different topic.
You got a lot of stuff that made the NBA look like a big daycare at some point.
Listen, man, you cannot sit there and say that NBA has not progressed in skill set and all of that stuff.
They haven't. If they not
have,
boxing
man.
out,
Are you crazy?
How could you go past fundamentals, Rob? How
Listen,
could you be better than your fundamentals? These guys are not. Watch the game. They just running up and down the court and trying to put up threes. A three-pointer is a part of a play. A three-pointer is not something that you just come out there and see how many you could chunk up. That's not basketball. That's the worst kind of, these kids now, if you try to play a pickup game now, it's the worst thing you could do as an old school guy, that nobody pass to the post, get the ball back out, rotate, move the ball. Everybody just come down and shoot. And you just run back down there, and I had to pull, I tried to play a couple of times with the young guy, I had to pull him to the side and say, look at man, you don't have to shoot every shot like that is not a good shot. Set your offense up, work and see what you got. And they're not doing that, Rob. That's not a progression. That's taking basketball backwards in my opinion. Everybody think they got a good shot. That can't be true.
Well, listen, man, I think that the game has progressed. Like I said, which you have not.
They are not.
Listen,
you said
no. Hold on. You said you was gonna tell you was gonna whatever with tear apart what I'm saying.
How many? All right,
but
Michael Jordan and all of them was in dunk contests. How many dunk contests LeBron was in? How many dunk contests all these young guys was in? What Jordan them did, dunk contests, scoring titles, defensive player of the year, doing all this. How many of these players getting defensive player of the year? But the centers.
You should have took.
It's an offensive game, man.
You should have took his 1, 2, 3, 4, and then broke it down. You should have tore it apart from 1, 2, 3.
Tear it apart for me, Ray.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna let you do that one.
That's because he don't.
All
Ray
right,
don't
then.
play
Well,
no.
yeah, I took number one. What was your number one?
You go ahead.
I don't even remember. What
Oh,
my
no,
number
that's
was.
what I'm saying.
You said, I'm gonna tell you progression. Let's go back to progression.
You said more
Athletic.
Let's take more athletic.
Okay,
That's
so go
going to be
ahead.
debatable for infinitum
Okay.
because they can't. Athleticism has to do with durability.
Okay, so what's the question? Okay, so the question is that we want everybody in the comment section. The question is old school, the 92 Dream Team, right? Let's just set it up. The 92 Dream Team. Were those
let me take these points
was
about
those players
the NBA.
Was it more athletic?
You
Was the
talking about-
NBA back then versus now, was it more athletic? That's the question, right?
That's
That's the
one
question.
because you
That's
said
number one.
You
You said
said
more
okay.
athletic.
We said in
I
the beginning
disagree.
we were talking about better, and then now we're starting to break.
You
it
said
down.
they're more
we're starting,
progressive.
Yeah, we're starting to break down better now.
They
I
have
think
progressed
the game has
But
progressed. But
in
how?
those ways. But here are your points. Your points that they have progressed. You said was athleticism,
Right.
skill set. You
True,
said athleticism,
true.
skill set, and
Both of those are true. Go ahead.
3-point shooting. That's what you were saying. All right. So now that's what I'm saying.
That's true. All
Athleticism, you're gonna debate because you got some of the best players that ever played from the old school.
Maybe you should.
You don't
say
have
technique.
none of these guys that's top. None of these guys have made it that far yet. So you can't.
I got
say
a question.
That.
I got a question for
Maybe
you.
he means technique because technique is better. Technique right now they're learning more things and they learn from the old school more things. So they do.
Man, listen, these
better.
kids.
So technique is better.
They're not skill. All right. So you said skill set. Now, how could you prove skill set? That's going to be a hard one.
Okay, all right. This is how I can prove skill set. So let's say, okay, how tall is KD? Kevin Durant. He like 7 feet, right?
Yeah, 6'11".
6'11". So let's say 1-on-1, Kevin Durant. Let's say he like a center, right? So Kevin Durant against name an old school center that you think. Oh, what?
He wasn't. Now he's not a center.
Wait a minute.
What's called not a center? He's
Who not a
forward.
center?
He played power forward.
Okay,
Durant.
okay. So
Durant.
okay, all right.
Durant.
With the skill set that AD have. Okay, so he's a center, right?
Yeah, he's center.
Okay, so let's say AD in his prime plays. You said McHale, right? That's what you said.
Oh, well, Kel played power forward. Centers. If you
Center,
talking about
man,
centers.
a center.
Robin.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Okay, so in my opinion, I think AD will smash Patrick Ewing. I'm talking about one-on-one. Because number one, of course, AD is shooting 3-pointers.
That's not a good.
Here's how hold on. Here's how the game. Okay, I'll give you another reason how the game
He
has
like
progressed.
four. He like four.
I'm gonna tell you, that's what I'm saying. Today's game is not positional. You understand what I'm saying? You got centers that are shooting 3-pointers.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So they're gonna spread the court. Point blank, period. So whoever that center is, like a Shaq, that think that he just gonna camp out down low in the post. You understand what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna happen.
But then they can't play in the post. So you got centers that's out there shooting and really can't play in the post. Now look at Jokic. He would be interesting, but he's
about him.
The Joker's an interesting player because he's his skill set is high. He got a real high skill set.
And that's my point.
but then-
now you see my point.
But then I go to Olajuwon. Then I go to Tim Duncan. These are guys which were old school too, and you couldn't do nothing with Olajuwon. None of these guys could play Olajuwon. None of them could play Shaq. Because Shaq is cool.
In the post. None of them can play him in the post.
But old boy play up top too. Olajuwon can score. He can score anyway, but he's mostly a post player.
But he's not a 3-point
He's a
shooter. He's not.
I don't want to take the conversation crazy, but
Do you believe they're faster today?
he said
than
they're
they
more
were?
athletic. It's
Athletic.
hard to say. It's hard to say because they're not
course.
durable. So I don't really want to count it because they can't play long.
He's not
Oh,
I don't want to count
man.
that.
Bro,
Okay.
you is.
It's like it's like getting a race car to haul trash. They
Boy, we gonna get hit with that
you
comment.
know I'm trying to get it because it's
But they gonna drag.
They
you.
Drag him on that.
They
They
gonna
got that
drag you in
they
these
fast,
comments,
man,
bro.
but they can't play long. They always hurt.
All trash. Huh?
That's what's wrong with this young generation. They weak minded, man.
Oh my god.
So you
Okay.
could have all the athletes, and I love a lot of these young brothers. Zion Williams, but my boy just can't stay healthy. AD just can't stay healthy and play all his games. LeBron do all this money on his body and still don't play a whole season.
Number one,
$150 million on his body and ain't playing a whole season. What the hell is going on?
I'm gonna tell you what's
so,
going
So
on.
that's my biggest quarrel with the young folks or these generation is they don't have any durability. You give me John Stockton, and who gonna play all 80-something games and keep on chugging along doing this thing. And you got John Moran, all these guys that's flying all over the place, and they know they don't have enough consistency. That's another big thing that they don't have. Consistency.
So Frank's saying they're tougher. Old school was tougher than
Old
that.
school had the mindset to be they had the warrior mindset. You see how, but that's what I'm saying. It's really nothing these guys can do. There's a few of them that may adopt that and say, like, I like Edwards, the young fella. He tried to play hard all the time when he stepped on the court. Kobe got that. He got that from them. Every time he stepped on the floor. D Wade. These brothers played. But how many of them, that's just a handful, that every time they stepped on the court, they was ready to smash your head. LeBron ain't one of them.
Kobe was right in the middle, though. He's right in the cusp of
but he caught that from Jordan and all them.
He learned from the old school. Yeah,
they awoke that in him. I love the young brothers, but I always say you got to be able to blend the old and the new, take the good and take and leave the bad. And sometimes we leave all of the things that really made basketball what it is. Okay, they shooting more, everybody handling the ball, they flying up, but then they lose. They have no consistency. They have no durability. They have no dedication to the fans, like the old school. So you got, if you look at all of it, you got to be able to look at it for what it's worth.
Okay, so let me say this, right? So number one, okay, I totally understand what you're saying. Like these young guys, they are not playing as many games as old school did, but these guys, the game is faster, right? They're scoring more points now. So that's a whole lot more running. That's a whole lot more back and forth, up and down the court. You understand what I'm saying? And then now you're talking about LeBron. You got to look at all the years that LeBron, once, of course, you play those 82 games. Now LeBron has consistently been in the playoffs all these years, right? Since he's been in the league. So that's another whatever number of games, right? So if you think about it, I think LeBron is probably, I don't know what the numbers are with him averaging how many games, but my point is the game, it's no way that you can deny that the game has not progressed, man. It's no way. But I understand your point. But these guys will still beat the brakes off of them old school guys.
Okay, that's
that was a conversation. That's a different conversation.
But I
beat
could
the brakes
say
is a different conversation.
that they are.
I said
I
what
can
I
say
said.
that they are.
Progression. You got to agree that progression is a part of the NBA right now. But beat the brakes off is a different story. No, you believe that. You believe that. It ain't the same as old school. But he know it ain't the same as old school. They got new techniques. They learning some different stuff or whatever.
But they know what that mean. Hey, but what they learning different. They taking all what the old school, that the turnaround fadeaways, all that. They just don't play. They don't have a lot of solid they don't have no foundation to what they doing.
I understand that. But
just
dribbling
running
is
all
different.
around.
Let me ask you a question. Dribbling is different.
Everybody jacking up shots.
But not forget about the shots. Dribbling is different. Ball handling is different. Right?
A little more flashy. Yeah, it's a little more flashy. Coaches would pull Kyrie Kyrie wouldn't have been playing like that in the 70s.
You don't
They'd
think
have pulled
so?
him over there and say, hey, man, hey, stop all that. It's just dribble and go up there and go and pass the ball.
You think they would have did that to him?
I know they would have did it.
If he was scoring, you think they
I
would
know
have
they
done
would have
that?
did it. I know they would have did it. They went with all that there now. Kyrie, remember Kyrie is Uncle Drew too. So he got a persona.
But if he was scoring, you think they taking him out?
But back then they controlled a lot of that. They controlled it. Go, hey man, slow down, stop all that now. What you doing? Because the turnovers and all that, you getting turned. Kyrie don't turn the ball over that much.
That's an example.
But Kyrie, he wouldn't have been dribbling like that back then. No. It was too much
That's why we're
regulation.
using him as an example, man.
I believe he could have played back then. I believe he could have played.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I believe he could have played. Yeah, I believe he could have played because he go to it. Now that's just one part of it. Let's go on into the other conversation that we said as far as the dream team. Now I tried to help Rob stay away from this, but he insisted that the dream teams after '92 they were better. Now I told him, he was finna say something.
Okay, so let me hold on. Let me just give a disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? So here's my disclaimer, right? I'm not saying that the dream team was not good. I remember watching them play. I'm old enough everybody here that's sitting in this room right now, we old enough. We have watched this game progress. And I'm not saying that the Dream Team is bad, but I'm just saying the Dream Team of those years, the competition that they faced versus what these guys are facing now with these European players or these players from around the world has progressed. Right now, we have far more international players that's in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. Like we've gotten like the number one draft picks
agree with that.
That's true.
Were international players. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just letting us know that the game has progressed. And these players that's in the NBA, when it comes down to the Olympics, they go back to play for their country. You understand what I'm saying? So pretty much what we have is like a mini international NBA Olympics, so to say. So that's what I'm saying. That's proof that the game has progressed.
So there's a difference between the NBA progressing than the players.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Because you're saying that the Dream Team, all that happened, and the players are better. The players are better. Those are two different arguments. The players are better, or the NBA has progressed because now we have more players in different leagues, and now they're making it tougher now.
The players are the NBA, man.
Yeah, but that's how you
know what I'm saying?
That's your disclaimer.
He said the Dream, but yeah, that is the international basketball has come leaps and bounds. I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
it's because of what the Dream Team started and how it just opened up the floodgates and showing the world they wanted to be like the Dream Team.
Yeah.
Now let's get to what you said about the Dream Teams. Now, you said the Dream Teams now, or these Dream Teams, well, they're not even Dream Teams. They're just
you sound like a
teams.
hater, man.
The Olympic teams that we have had have been shameful. I just want to say it. Oh. These last few years, the last 18, with every 4 years, the last showings that we've been having have been shameful. I would say that.
What about this last one?
It was shameful because they lost. They lost. Anytime you lose a game in the quarterfinals, anytime you lose a game representing America, it's shameful.
In that sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we talking about Dream Team. We talking about that. Now I just want to go back to what I was saying. The Dream Team with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, did not lose any games. Just keep that in mind.
Rob is saying that because they had nobody playing for international teams.
Yeah, he's just talking. But now another thing.
That's a fact.
They averaged over 30-point beatdowns. Steph Curry and all these boys running around the court just was winning games by 2 and 3 points with LeBron James on the team. I can't hear you. You said something?
Okay, so let me say something.
Okay.
He's saying the NBA is tougher now.
So, look, man.
He's saying the NBA is tougher now. Yeah.
Okay. Number one, okay. So, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to go slow when I say this. I'm repeating myself again.
You said that they better than the Dream Team.
I said, listen, man, I'm standing on business with that, bro. What I say.
How could
These
you say
guys,
that, though?
Because, okay, number one, the competition is far better. I don't know if you heard me or not, but what I just said is in this NBA or this generation of players, when we talking about playing in the Olympics, you have far more Olympic players that in the NBA. I think we had something like 65 NBA players or something like that played in this Olympics. I don't know, versus maybe 1 or 2 back in the Dream Team days. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a difference. Now, of course, these guys, okay, look, listen. I understand what you're saying.
You're saying that they are so much better than, they're so athletic, more athletic than the Dream Team. They're so much better skilled. How come they can't match up and shut these teams down like the Dream Team matched up and shut them down?
You know why? I'm going to tell you why. You know why? Because they playing against other NBA players. I keep saying that. They just from other countries, man. It's as simple as that.
So
okay,
other countries have improved their basketball organizations.
Well, he's basically saying that most of those guys are in the NBA that's playing.
But they're not doing it by themselves, though. It's other
they
people
got
on the team.
team.
Other people on the team. So they're improving it. So that means that old school people have gone back to these countries and taught some basics in basketball.
No, they playing with NBA players all the time.
No, they're not.
They play year round. Jokic's been a professional. Not Jokic. The guy for Dallas with Kyrie.
I know you're talking about, not Jokic.
My man.
I know you're talking about. I can't.
He's been a pro since he was like 14, 15 years old. So they play year round together.
Yeah, but not enough.
That's what helped them too.
That does.
That helps them.
Somebody's coaching over there, man.
They have a lot of pride for their country. You have to really get on our team to make them wake the hell up and realize what's at stake. The most important games you can play is for America.
Yeah.
You can't, them games you playing and making all that money to play in for your city and all that there. Hey, get out of here with that. You go and play in the Olympics, you can't let nobody beat. You can't. You got to have a different mindset when you're playing in the Olympics.
Pride situation.
And those other countries don't play that.
Yeah.
They don't play that. And they be out there to bust our heads, and we be out there. Hey, Steph. Hey, you heard him? Yeah. Until they lose a couple of games, and then they be like, hey, man, we got to get serious.
Yeah.
No.
I will say this too, man. There are NBA players or guys that don't make the NBA, or you have some guys that have played in the NBA, like Americans, right?
Exactly.
That go and play overseas.
And go back and teach.
You understand what I'm saying? And there's a lot of, I think Stephon Marbury was one of those guys, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I think he was.
He was playing for China for a long time.
Yeah. So,
but he never played in the Olympics against against China. He played in those different leagues over there.
Yeah. So you got a lot of players that's doing that, man. And of course, these guys, like these international players, they are progressing, man. So basically,
I agree with that. Now.
So basically, the gap when 92 team was big. Now that gap has shortened. I'm talking about in terms of skill set.
That's why I agree with you. I agree with you with that. Yeah, I agree. Because that's what it is, man. You got these old players from 92 or even before that are going over to these other countries and teaching people the basics of basketball and helping out that organization. If somebody pay you $20 million, pay you $20 million to come help out China or some other country, you're going to go there and teach some basketball.
Yeah, they've just been playing with us, and they've been competing. I remember when was it Lithuania? When Tony Kukoc was, his team played against the Dream Team, and he was also set to play for the Bulls once that season was over, and they gave him hell. So they were recruiting for a long time.
They've been recruiting for a long time.
From over there. But those guys
But
played,
it's not enough time. You keep saying time. They didn't have a lot of time to play like we play each other like all the time.
Not back then like they did. Yeah. No, I'm saying now, like to Rob's point, they play, most of those guys, the 65 players are playing against the top talent. I believe that the NBA is the highest of all leagues, and then come all those other things. So if you playing in the NBA, you playing amongst the best of the world. Then you go 65? Back
65 non-Americans?
No, yeah, I think it was maybe 65. If I'm not mistaken, we'd have to fact check.
It's a lot of them in there,
but I think it was like about 65 NBA players
that were playing for other teams.
That played for their home country.
For their home country.
I thought you meant like United States NBA players, like play for the U.S. and also other countries added to 65.
No.
So you're 65 playing with other, man. We got to fact check that one.
They from the NBA countries. That's a lot. I don't know if it's that many, 65. But it's a lot. It's a lot of them. We constantly talking about the old school and new school, and I'm a big proponent of taking from each. I believe that once you have aged, and it's so much to learn from those that are older, but it's so much that they can learn and hold on to from the old school. Just don't let the good things go. I like the Bible say, hold on to the things of old and ask where the old paths at so you can walk in them. Don't just discard everything from the old and think that you got it because you knew. Chief Hall Podcast. I'm kicking in your front. Great peeping in your drapes. This is almost sell out. Rob making the plate in the back. Chief Hall Podcast. There's no other blueprint of how the family should be set up other than what we find in the Bible about Adam and Eve. A family, God intended for a man to find a woman through prayer and through first putting himself in the best position where he could provide and also protect and also be the priest of his family to make sure his family understood that God was the head and the center of everything. And then he found him a woman that also was raised knowing the role of a woman and knowing her place in the whole scheme of things as raising the family. So if you understand the basic elements of where a family and how a family is supposed to be set up, we're so far away from that. That's why we're having a lot of problems. Of course, marriage is not as important to people nowadays. And that's a big problem because a lot of women are comfortable having babies without being married and without having a man that has dedicated his life to his family and dedicated everything that to protect them and to provide and to also make sure he's the priest of that home. A lot of women don't see that as being as important as it once was. And maybe even men don't see how important that is. But they are saying that through blackdemographics.com and through CDC and all these different statistical websites, they're saying that 51% of men, black men, are single and with no children. 51%. And we've been hearing so much about there's no black men left. They're all in prison and they're all in jail and all that. But it's enough black men out there if women really wanted to set themselves up and be a wife. That's the beginning, in my understanding, of what a family should be. And maybe because we're so far off from that, we are having a lot of the problems that we see now. If we just go back to basics. But some people might say, no men don't want to get married. And no women don't want to get married. Men are not husbands. Women are not wives. One thing for sure, women can't vet men like men can. If women really consider if they wanted to be married, make sure every man that you care about and that has been a mentor, that has been somebody that you look up to, make sure they're involved in the process as much as possible. That will help in a lot of ways with your selection and make sure it's connected with some type of church body. I believe sometimes in the best sense that can help a lot. That can help a lot in a church setting with prayer and looking for somebody that's also praying and dedicating themselves to God first. And then you would have a better understanding of each other's roles. It has to go back to the basics so everybody could understand their role in the family. And that's what we're talking about, the family. And how not having families bring us to a lot of the problems that we see today. But we're going back to the beginning on how family was supposed to be designed and see where we are so far off from that. And that's why we face a lot of the problems.
That's a loaded question, man, a loaded topic. It's a loaded topic. It's simple.
We're unloaded then.
I don't know if I can
unload
it. Like
all we're doing is talk about it, laying it out there. What do you think? How important do you think the family is in the future of our society and communities?
Family is definitely important, man. You have to have that family unit, and the man definitely have to be in the house. That's the best case scenario. Unfortunately, that's not what we have nowadays.
Can we fix it?
Yeah, of course we can fix it. The traditional family has changed from what we grew up looking at, or from the origin, as to what you were saying, right? So all of that has changed. So now we operating in a whole new spectrum now. You understand what I'm saying? So now I guess women now or men now, what's happening now is, okay, I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but what's happening now is you have men and women, they have a child together, right? But I will say this, you have a lot of young men now that are raising their kids. They may not be with that mother, but they raising their kids.
As best
They
can.
showing up.
That's the other alternative.
But of course,
financially and
right,
somehow emotionally.
But of course, man, what we have nowadays, man, is just that's the workaround. That's how they doing it now.
They surviving. They're not thriving. Yeah. We thrive when you and Nell and the wife and you are both. It's not easy. Let me just say that. Being a husband is not easy, and being a wife is not easy. That's why it's so important to have those families vet each other and everybody vets one another, because it's an entire network that helps you survive. My first marriage, we lasted so long because of our families on both sides. My mother loved her and supported, and her mother loved me, and our families loved each other, and we supported. And it wasn't until we lost all of that, the divorce was inevitable, because nobody was in our ear talking to us and supporting us. And then we just started making the decision that was best for us, that we felt that was best for us. And the number one thing in a family is to make sure the children are secure and their future is secure. Everything revolves around making sure that they're being trained and prepared for their lives outside of the family. So everything is catered to that. Everything has to be designed for them to thrive. Now, of course, you have to make, in our society now, we find a lot of women choose badly, and that affects generations. And a lot of men choose badly, and of course, it affects generations. We have now that the popular thing is men having many children from many different women, and they still feel that they're being good fathers. That's impossible. I mean, for you to think that by putting all these children out here without a father and without a foundation and without somebody daily guiding and teaching and leading and working with you to become a man, grow from a boy into a man, to think that by sending finances, seeing them monthly, once in a while, is going to help them do that. It's because we have lost so much. We have lost sight of what really it is to raise a man or raise a child. But what they say, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not there, you won't know how important it is for you to be there. You have to be there to know how important it is. If you saw how important it was for you to be there, you would stop being irresponsible and making some of the decisions that most of you find men doing out here.
You said excuses? He said
excuses? Ahead.
What if he wants to be there? That's a whole nother topic. What if he wants to be there? Yeah, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
Then he made a bad choice. That means someone made a bad choice. Now, it's not going to always be peaches and cream. Like I always say, Big Mama and them and all of them before us, they were able to work through a lot of stuff. Even in Jim Crow and enslavement, these women were able to still be there through all that with that man, and no matter what, kept them families together. Now, as soon as a man does something wrong, now these women are ready to pack that thing up and go. You lost your job.
So you're saying the women were stronger back then?
Yeah, they had the women and the men were strong in a lot of ways as far as their dedication to the family. I'm not saying all those situations were the best, but we're talking about in slavery, the family stayed together, and that was all they had.
Back then, you're right. I agree 100%, right? But there wasn't as many distractions. It wasn't as many distractions that we have now.
Yeah, we couldn't see them
in this generation, and a lot of those distractions are, of course, the internet. Of course, what's the word I'm looking for?
Or the way women carry
social. This society now has a lot of vanity.
Yeah, we see.
It's driven by vanity, basically. Bottom line.
Yeah, in the 30s and 40s, you wouldn't see a woman. You wouldn't see a woman's butt and breast and cleavage. And like you could see. Now, I don't want to get too far off topic, but we're talking about how important it is for the vetting process to be done by families. Whatever choices you choose, each family vets the female, also vet. Look at during the Bible days, they vetted through a man's ability to provide and his family's ability to provide. So that was important when they went to look for somebody for that male. They went to find a wife. Through prayer, of course, as in the case of Abraham, he was praying so much, and then God sent off servant. Then he went and found a woman, and they vetted him. Or in the case of Lot, they had to be able to prove that he could provide. And that should always be something now. A man should be able to provide and protect and be the priest of his family. A man also needs a connection with God so he can lead a family and be able to deal with the things when it not seems right. They can pray together.
So basically, what you're saying is the man should be the breadwinner, should be paying for everything, right?
In those,
I'm talking about today. I'm talking about now.
Today,
yeah,
a man
today.
should put himself in a position where he can be the breadwinner and be able to provide for a family. That's how you lured those women that were being raised to be wives. That's how you got them, because those families were looking for men that could provide for their daughters that they have trained and sacrificed all these years to put out here to them. But they want them to be with a man that can provide.
So listen, man, let me just say this, man.
Say it.
The people in the comments or the women in the comments is gonna drag your ass for this shit. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm just keeping it 100.
What do you mean drag me?
Because it sounds like we trying to put the women back a little bit.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying?
Think?
Keep them in the house.
To have to really depend on a man. Now, I wish I don't really agree totally with that statement, but what I do agree with, I think that a man should basically, if he's able to, basically take care of everything, and your woman's money is just not good.
How you feel? How you feel about this statement? How does this align with God saying, and
the problem is people don't have the foundation,
and this shall be a helpmeet for him. Okay, so God pulled a rib, designed and made a woman that grabbed from the clay and made him and gave him Adam, and she should be helpmeet. Now,
that doesn't mean she can't work.
How do you feel about this aspect that the best thing or a woman's purpose on earth is a man? How does that sound? A woman's purpose on earth is to be a helpmeet to a man. Without a man, a woman has no purpose. How does that sound?
Sounds sexist.
That sound, yeah.
Sounds sexist.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds.
That sounds sexist. Okay.
Sounds sexist and misogynist.
It sounds.
That's that new
term. Here we go. Now, all right. So, without, so if a woman, how does this sound? A woman's greatest accomplishment is to be a wife and a mother. How does that sound?
That's almost
that
okay
sounds
to
great
say.
To me.
You know what? It's almost okay to say, because that is a very hard job, especially with the women out here who are working and doing their thing and also still doing that. Yes.
I want women to like and subscribe and comment, and we want to have this discussion. Is that a problem if I said that a woman's greatest accomplishments is to be a wife of a man that would give his life for her and his family, and a mother of children that are contributing to our society?
They're not going to drag you.
Is that a problem?
No, that's not a problem. They're not going to drag you on that one because you said they're greatest. And that's a great accomplishment and a great compliment to a working woman and a regular.
What does a man have if he goes all his life and works and built up all this and he has no children, no legacy? What does he really have?
It's hard to say, but to go back.
What does he have if he doesn't build a legacy and raise children after his own self and train and pass down, and then they do the same thing? What we have, if our dads didn't go to have us, teach us, build a way for us,
you just want to have legacy. You just want to have legacy, but there are people out there that don't care about that. But should they?
Should they? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say if somebody should care or not.
To work your whole life and have nothing.
Who wants to be alone? Who wants to be
back to the federal government?
Amen.
Because that's who's gonna take it.
You check your camera work.
I am. I'm switching it.
You're not switching good.
I am. I'm trying to catch both of y'all.
No,
but the thing is, I'm trying to catch both of y'all.
Then you get his reaction.
We not live.
Not live. Yeah. You can edit this out. But
I am gonna edit it.
Get on his ass. He like that. He click. He go back.
I want those to be.
I don't need you to see me. I don't need you to see me.
I want them to be infomercials pulling into our conversation. What I was saying.
And that's why I was doing that. When you click back to him, right quick, then he gonna continue to talk. And I'm trying to answer his question. You should get when I say something,
it's on me and he talking. You see?
Yeah. You should get his reaction sometimes. That what I'm saying. But look,
Okay.
Look at he's still over there on him. So that's what I'm saying. Get his reaction. See, like he get him laughing. See, there you go. There you go.
Hold on.
Then you come back.
You want to sit your ass over here
I should.
and press these buttons?
I probably should. Give me the damn button thing.
I
Put it
can't
right
get
here.
Yeah, switch chair, man. Bring
You should.
Hold on,
You should.
wait a
No,
minute.
you should put
I'm
the
sick
button.
of sitting by this.
I can't. Let me see.
Get it when you get an extension next time. Let me do the pushing and the thing. I'll be there.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if this gonna reach all the way over there. But anyway, you
Is
see
it
this right
ABC
here?
or 1, 2, 3?
No, it's this the intro. Like the top right here. Let me just show everybody what I'm doing. You see this? Let me see. Wait. So this is our switcher. This is how we switch right there.
Shout out to Rob, man. He doing this thing.
You right there.
This is
That's
how we
you.
started, man. This is how
Frank.
it begins.
Yeah.
Rob.
Right there. Boom. Well, anyway, look, the top buttons up here.
All the top buttons.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
camera angles. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, man. I know it's hard for you, but I might take over that job for you. Just let me
That's
push
fine.
let me push the button. Get an extender, and I'll do it from right here.
Huh? I can't. I could probably just find an extension to it.
Yeah. But no, this now. Okay. Back in.
This man.
This dude over here, man.
Oh, that's a good one now.
Look, I think that statement what you made right there, man.
Who,
is
Frank or me?
yeah, no, what Frank said.
Okay.
I think that's an accurate statement. That a woman's raising a child and being married, that's
Her greatest.
and yeah, that's going to be her greatest accomplishment.
Raising children that
Raising children.
to their legacy.
Yeah.
Because remember, it is very important if you can pass down what you've learned and what you've gained in knowledge and in success. It's imperative that it be transferred. It's no good to just have and not give back. It's considered to be selfish to live a life and not be able to give back to those behind you and others that are trying and coming along. It's part of what we are as humans, to give back and to be able to do for others. And the family does that. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's good to say. However, you're leaving certain people out, because what if some people don't care? And then what if you do have the people who do care, that let's just say a beautiful woman out there, successful, doing her thing, but she wants to have kids, but she can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, but that's a drop in the bucket to the numbers of women that can have children and that can have families and that can support. And then they can in turn be able to be a blessing to that woman that can have in other ways she can do. And that's unfortunate, but that does happen. China, I believe, China and Japan are actually dying because they have so many unwed women draining their system. And they have no other families. Remember, they had that thing we talked about on the show, trying to have men help come and impregnate their women so that they could have and continue to build and grow families. I in the wrong way, in a sense, but they realized that population is the key. I sent you that thing. Well, that's different. But
Was that confirmed though? But it does make sense. But
I watched that too, by the way.
it was confirmed.
No, something else.
Oh,
yeah. But now, and we'll talk about it afterward. But the key thing is families build communities, churches, governments, and worlds, states and worlds. And the success of families determines the success of your government and your cities and your counties. If you got this stuff strong, and we just losing sight of how important it is. And I would love to walk around a college campus with a microphone and just ask young men and young women, is your plan to have a family? Is that your plan, to have a family?
First, we have to define what a man and a woman is first.
What Donald Trump already said, what the government ain't gonna do. They're not gonna have nothing to do with nothing but a male and a female. The federal government.
That's my dog.
He's gonna make sure of that. But now the Bible already was talking about that, so I'm already own that.
You already prepared
Because
for
I
that,
know and I understand.
Don't ask him. Don't
that
ask him.
I know. Say that again, Stanky.
He was about to ask you, so did you support Trump? You vote for Trump? He was about to ask
Like
you
I
that
said,
question.
like I told Rob, that's the good. And there's two more, the bad and the ugly.
And what's the bad? And what's the ugly?
We waiting. We wait till it unfolds.
So basically what you're saying is you're thinking that there is going to be some bad?
You should never think that.
Every human.
Mistakes and bad are two different things.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Mistakes.
Yeah, I know that Donald Trump is not perfect. I know Kamala Harris is not perfect. And I know they don't believe like I believe that Jesus is the only man that I know that I believe everything he said. I know they don't believe like that. He the only man I believe everything he said. But now, going back to what we're saying, and Rob, you go since you're practicing and you really learning how to, Vic, please come back. Since you're learning how to do all this editing and all this stuff like that, I want you to edit through this and chop on it and don't take your time and go through it. But the point is, family is the white race has depleted. I believe that they're saying that the largest numbers of that the only ethnic group that continues to grow families with a husband and wife is, at large numbers, is the Latino community.
Of course.
The Latino community, one thing about them, they believe that you be married and you have a husband and a wife and you have all your babies and you make it work no matter what. And I love that about them. See, that's another thing about our community, about families. We don't work through a lot of stuff like they used to. Somehow, a lot of things have become a big problem, what they call deal breakers in our community. And we like we were talking about with the generational thing with basketball, with football, and then we'll get into boxing. But times have changed, and people are weaker now, weaker-minded. I'm hearing a lot of people, a lot of men nowadays going through a lot of stressful stuff and don't know which way to turn, know which way to do, and they can't handle it. And I'm seeing that a lot throughout. And I don't know how prevalent that was back then.
I got a question, right?
Shoot it.
Should we go back to like back in the day, like whooping our women ass?
He talking about getting dragged, boy. He talking about getting dragged. I don't know, but
talking about left field.
Yeah, left field, man.
I ain't say nothing
with no glove. He gonna get dragged right now, man.
He gonna be edited in that out.
Yeah, boy. They will drag him.
Hey, hell no, I'm keeping that shit in.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
Keep that. Now let me say something.
No, hold on.
Disclaimer.
Let me give a disclaimer, man, because I'm not condoning whooping no woman ass. Nah, it's not the 70s. This ain't the pimping. This ain't that pimping era. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. That's it. I'm just joking.
He's just joking.
Yeah.
They still gonna drag him, Frank, because that's not a joke.
I think for sure this is ongoing, something that we'll be talking about, and I don't mind continuing to have this conversation about families and the importance of them and where we got off at. How can we correct it? What do we need to be doing for our colleges, universities, and high schools? How can we make this a campaign to make sure that family is important? Now, everybody can't be married. Everybody can't, but at least if the majorities are, we can build families and other folks can support it in different ways through their businesses, through the churches. Everybody we know can't marry a woman. There's not enough women. There's not enough men for us all to marry somebody. Of course, we know the numbers don't show that, but we got to be able to do. We got to be able to push.
He just said not everybody can marry a woman. That was going to turn into so. That's why some people just go into men. Does that make it okay?
What happened to the sound effects
in your world?
We don't got no sound effects.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. What sound effect you looking for? Wait a minute.
I'm just messing with Frank.
I want to slap him, man.
I'm messing with
him. Ain't no slaps over there.
I ain't got no slaps.
Ain't no karate kicks or nothing. All gone.
Let's see what I got. Let me see.
Oh my God. Paige and Vic. Paige and Vic.
Get that out of here, man. Ain't no slaps. That's all you got?
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Gunshots.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Okay, that's all you got. Okay, all right. Nah, you got to go through them and find some. You can probably go download that slap.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you can keep that.
Yeah. Anyway, man,
Just look at.
I think we need to get back to whooping our kids' ass though. That's who ass we need to whoop. Yeah, we need to get on their ass.
On that,
And when do you stop? What ages do you stop? Because see, if you're whipping behind at 12, 11, 12, 13.
You need one, so
yeah.
50.
No, nah, I already got enough. Enough of those growing up. I turned out pretty good. Thank the Father. Thank the Father and my father. Dad.
Y'all, both of y'all.
My mama whooped my ass, boy.
Both of y'all only.
And my mama too. Yeah.
Man, I got
syndrome.
man.
I'm gonna call it the checking. Got checked.
Hell no, we call it ass whooping.
I know. I'm just being PC with it. I'm just being PC.
Man, damn all that PC.
Do the women y'all with realize that y'all only child?
Yeah, but you can't tell that I'm an only child.
Yeah, you can't. It's not. See, back in the day, there was.
You could tell Ray ass.
They used to say, "Oh yeah, only child," because you get spoiled. And you're a spoiled kid. I never grew up spoiled, man. My parents.
If you check the numbers,
provided, man. My mom and dad are amazing. They provided.
I think a lot of only children went to New Orleans. This Chief Hall podcast.
Went to New Orleans.
And we are.
Hey, I'm gonna let him get away with that one. Hey, because Carol City, CARALOL. How did the lady spell that?
Who wasn't they?